Hello YouTube, HPZ here, and I think it's fine to say that I'm officially back again. Finished with my hiatus, and I'm going to be doing weekly videos again. And what a better way to start than to show you guys some Super Nintendo goodies. I've got a few other videos planned in the next couple of weeks. It might not be like a one video a week thing, but it'll be a one video when I feel like it, so that I don't get burnt out and I don't get tired of what I create, because as soon as you get tired and you get burned out, I stop creating and I get depressed and all sorts of bad things happen. So, yes, I'm basically going to be doing today some live streaming for the NES Classic. There's a quick unboxing that I'm going to show you just now that I filmed of unboxing my machine, and then what we'll do directly afterwards is we'll quickly discuss how I got it and this year's thoughts and tribulations, basically, of what is going on at the moment. First things first, I just quickly want to full screen this on display 1. There we go. No, actually, close. I need to full screen this on display 2. See, I'm completely out of it. There we go. That's the right one. Okay, so let's quickly start with the unboxing. There's no audio during the unboxing or speaking at all. I mean, everyone has already seen what these things look like when you unbox them, so there's absolutely nothing special about the unboxing, but I thought I'd record it and just show you guys more or less what it looks like. First thing I just want to say thank you to Raru, who I placed the pre-order with. It was one of the first companies that offered a pre-order. And like all of the companies in South Africa, there was a problem with the shipping. Apparently one of the trucks or something got derailed, and for that reason no one in South Africa got their Snes minis on time. I did actually manage to pick another unit up at BT Games yesterday on Sunday and then received mine today, but that unit I gave to a friend of mine who was looking for a secondary unit to keep sealed. But nonetheless, thank you for Raru for sending me one out today. It's reasonably quick. And I'll be honest, compared to everyone else, your box was A+ mint. Not a scratch on that box because it was like double bubble wrapped and things. It was very well packaged. So let's show you guys what the box looks like. That's what the box looks like, and you saw the controller in there. That's the controller there, and so far this controller for me feels pretty good. The D-pad feels extremely solid, but it has the same problem most of the NES controllers have, and that's that there's quite a bit of play on the on the buttons on X and Y. You see that? They're not very stiff. There's quite a bit of play on these, so I'm not too big a fan of those. I've actually got a generic one of these, but doesn't have as much play, and it like stiffens the controller up quite a bit. And with the controller being so stiff, it does actually help a bit of gameplay. You know, you press the button down, it feels a bit more firm. This feels kind of almost dead fleshy, but I think this, all of the controllers, Snes controllers I've ever owned, has this problem. It kind of feels a little bit fleshy, fleshy to the touch. I mean, it's nothing there that I can honestly say is any bit of a surprise with that, because I think, as far as I can tell, this is what the SNES controller is supposed to feel like from the second-hand units that I've got. Menu is exactly the same here, except for, of course, you see something gift wrapped. I just want to see, I haven't pressed it yet. Oh, yeah, clear stage 1 of Star Fox to unlock. You see, that I don't know why they did that. I mean, that's just a little bit silly. Why do you need to clear stage 1 of Star Fox before you can play Star Fox 2? That's a bit daft. Nonetheless, I guess it's there for impatient people so they don't get in. Normal thing, there is some background music playing. I've got it mostly muted. I'm going to unmute it quickly. Sound quality, I'll say, is pretty good. I'm going to push the sound up just a tiny little bit. There we go, so you guys can hear some background music while I talk. So yeah, availability, let's see, I ordered mine on Raru, pre-order, it was available for like 2 days, so not a big rush to get it if you know that it was available. All of the news agencies had it advertised as being available, so everyone knew it was there, so anyone could pick it up, and yeah, you just like pre-ordered it there. Okay, and we got it today due to that delay. I mean, on Thursday, late Thursday afternoon, they actually sent out emails saying, sorry people, you won't get it on Friday, there's been a delay in shipment. Okay, basically, there was a truck that overturned, or a truck that failed, and they couldn't get the units through in time. Initially, Raru said it was their truck, but after speaking to all of the suppliers the following day, everyone confirmed, you know, suppliers don't have stock, they didn't send out the stock, they're expecting it late Saturday or possibly Sunday. So I just also rocked up at BT Games and I said, no, do you have any, can I buy one from you, because my pre-order with Raru got postponed, and the lady behind the counter was like, oh, how many do you want? I said, yeah, 1 or 2, maybe one for me and one for a friend. So I've got a lot of friends that still want one that didn't get the pre-order. And she's like, ooh, yeah, maybe I can give you one. I'll tell you what, I'll phone you as soon as our pre-orders are cleared. If there's any left over in stock, you know, I'll phone you and just come through and come and get it. So this one was on Friday. I then received the email that mine's coming through. I thought, it's fine. I'm getting mine anyway on Monday, so I don't care. And Sunday she phoned me back. She's like, Sunday morning I had breakfast at the mall. On my way back, I just got a phone call, and the lady from BT's like, hi, I've got your pre-order. It's yeah, but me, do you still want it? I'm like, yes, I'll be there now. And I made a U-turn and went to go fetch it. Gave that one out to a friend of mine who's looking for a second unit. And yeah, I was actually thinking about using that one for this, but decided not to. You know, Sunday I just wasn't in a very good mood. I thought I'll do it today, and today, like always, I set my live streaming time for 8 o'clock, and YouTube decided, no, you should do it at 7, and yeah, so I unfortunately am 40 minutes late to my live stream. Oh, yeah, 40 minutes late. what can a person do at the end of the day? So nonetheless, I've tried a few of these. So a friendly reminder for those of you that haven't watched my YouTube videos, haven't watched my show. If I do one of these live streams, I'm literally viewing the output from my TV capture card. It's an AverMedia live game streaming thing that's like 5 years old. And because of that, it has a huge delay. There's quite a few millisecond delay. If I had to guess, it's about 400, 500 milliseconds. So platforming in that is almost impossible to play. Punch Out, I'm not even going to try because I would instantly die. But we're just going to play a few things and we'll do a little bit of a talk and everything else while playing. I mean, if there's anything that you guys want to see me test or play, please just write in the comments. I've got live streaming on with overlays on the channel. Just to show you where it overlays. You will see it here. There you go. You won't see it now because we're in the menu, but it says there, hi live stream, and then you guys can respond there and ask questions that go crazy. But I'm not expecting too many people on, maybe 2 or 3 tonight. Let's do something like Super Mario Karts. Just to start off with, just so I can like get my fingers warmed up. Enjoy the massive delay. And so far, it's very much the Snes, the NES Classic. This same PCB, same processor. You can even cross-flash it. So yeah, it's the NES Classic, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's going to get hacked soon, but apparently the way that they're wrapping the ROMs is a little bit different. It's more similar to what they do in the Wii. What's the controls? There we go. So yeah, I expect this to be like a week, and then you'll be able to load your custom ROMs and stuff on there. I'm just driving extremely cautiously because there's a huge delay. But anyway, it works. And I think that's jump. Which one was that's handbrake? Well, one of them threw, so I don't know which one was that. Let's see, was it? Which one was the used one? Key. No. It's probably, if I'm looking at the controller right, it's probably this one here. No, that, there we go. It's a bit of an awkward place to put it. Nonetheless, managed to get Donkey Kong and I pushed up a place here. So yeah, it's actually fairly good. Apparently some of the games are a little bit slow. I noticed Super Mario World had a bit of slowdown just now when I was testing it. I don't know if it's my capture card or not. But yeah, that looks good. Now, it says the one, I wonder if I can change, oh no, I can't change it. Because I don't have a home screen. So yeah, it still has a thing where you have to like press the reset button. But nonetheless. It does a job. I'm fairly happy. The controllers are worth it, especially. It's the same as the NES Classic, where the controller is what actually made the system for me. The only difference is this was about 250 Rand more expensive, which I think that translates to, let's see, that's about $10. No, we're not quite there yet. $15 odd, which isn't much. But yeah, so far it plays well. I haven't found any major flaws yet with it. I haven't played many games. We're not going to play too long today. I'm just going to be here for about an hour or so. But yeah, that's good. Mario Kart was one of those games I never actually got to play. I mean, for us, the kart racing game that we used to play as kids was Wacky Wheels, which is kind of like a PC Mario Kart clone. It's fairly simple in its design, but it's still good. Um, but yeah, Mario Kart, the first time I actually played this was on an emulator. I think on the Xbox, the original Xbox, the emulator on there, and I put this on, and that's the first time I physically like invested time in playing it. Managed to score one day even though we were neck to neck, which isn't bad. So yeah, it kind of works. It works well for an emulation platform. The only thing is you still can't press hotkeys to do things. I can force reset the game sometimes with start select L1, L2 on some of the Snes games. You know, those two. Force reset sometimes, but that ain't too bad. Let's see. Let's check what happens if I say reset. So it doesn't actually reset. But let's go here to displays, your T's. Now this is the one thing that they added that I didn't see on the NES Classic, which I would have actually liked to see, and that's these frames, which is kind of awesome. I mean, some of them are a bit crazy, I don't know why you choose them, but it has like wood grain and a galaxy theme and speakers and some nice ones. I mean, let's do the glow effect with scanline. No, that's not gonna. Let's do the retro with scanlines. I mean, that's going to be the pinnacle of what we should do. So we can also do rewinding if you press X, but once again, to get there, you have to press reset and then go into rewind. So uh, that's a bit strange. I'd rather just have a button combination. I mean, hotkeys on the controller. You know, that would have been way better. But yeah, overlays, scanlines doesn't look too terrible, but the YouTube algorithm hates them. So I'll just do this one as scanlines, and then we can have a look and choose something else. So yeah, it doesn't. It honestly plays very well. At least Mario Kart, which I think I would have presumed is one of the more popular games for an emulator to be able to play. I should have just jumped over that, but nonetheless, I had first in the other two rounds, so very good possibility I'll still come first. Bye, donkey. Ah, come on. So yeah, that's good. It works well. Nintendo really they've got this formula now, and I don't think they realise what they had. So they're probably going to stick to this for a little while. I don't foresee N64. N64 emulation is extremely tricky to get perfect, so I don't foresee that. Ooh, that sucked. There goes. Yeah, there goes whatever I was doing there. That's done. overall I'm still first, so yeah. "21 points in the lead. I'm going to be there for a while." So Bowser's Castle. But it's nice to see that they included the second controller, because the first controller I could not purchase here. It was like impossible to find. Ooh, this way. If anything, this map is going to cause me the most grief. This is the one I know the least. So chances are this is the one that I'm going to like spin out on. But it doesn't look bad. It does its job well. Yeah, works well. So I've been watching a lot of series lately, and the two new series that I'm really interested in is the new Star Trek, which I initially almost wrote off after watching the first 2 episodes. But I watched the third episode just now, and for me, it redeemed it. It's back to the normal formula again, sort of. It's more like an exploration formula. I don't know why they did the opening like that, because if you have a look at the third episode, it has nothing to do with the opening at all. It's like completely a separate sort of series, which I hope they don't like repeat themselves and get back to the old, well, try and create the whole series according to what that opening was. But that opening was really terrible. There's so much to it that I absolutely hated, which I'll come back to a bit later. The other series was the Orville, which is like a comedy Star Trek combination, which I don't think is bad. I think it's a very good show. They've got, with the Star Trek type episodes, they do amazing. And then the comedy stuff is very hit and miss. More miss than hit. So I don't know if they might like grow out of it in a few seasons. If they might decide, okay, we had the comedy side done, let's like take this a bit more serious. So yeah, it's a good series. At very least, the way I was edging it is if Star Trek failed for any reason, I would have then immediately switched over to Orville only, or vice versa. Hopefully, there wouldn't have been a case where both of them sucked. And now we're just playing the same map again in reverse, but slightly faster. Ooh. Yeah. Star Trek started off the way it started for me. Everything was just wrong with it. I mean, in the first 5 minutes, they started with this whole thing of, okay, we're on an alien planet. We can't, our communicators don't work because there's this huge storm. That sort of thing happens in Star Trek all the time. And then they did this whole grand gesture of you go through and you walk in. They walked in the Star Trek symbol, and somehow the ship saw through the storm and saw it as a sign to come and fetch them or come and pick them up. I mean, who wrote that? I mean, was that the director or one of the camera guys going, you know what, this will look good on film, you know, let's do that. I mean, it's fairly logical if there's like electrical storm and it's good enough to knock your comms down. Okay, it's not going to be it's, how can I put it? It's not going to be visually. You're not going to be able to visually tell from the ship's side that, hey, someone left tiny little footprints on the planet. I must go and pick them up. I mean, that's just physically impossible. Um, I have no idea who thought of that. And then you had all of the scenes where the cameraman decided that he was going to like knock some whiskey down and swing the camera 360 degrees constantly, do like these flips and spins in space, because you know they're in space, so the camera has to shake in space and it has to do weird 360 degree angles, and it has to be absolutely obnoxious. And then you get to the bridge and it's supposed to be these serious scenes, and they decide that the best way to portray the serious scene, the clearing war, it's supposed to be awkward, you take the camera and you like turn it 90 degrees. I mean, the whole thing was filmed like this. I mean, who does that? That's just absolutely terrible. That's enough to drive anyone up the wall. And then you get all the plot holes, like this whole spacesuit radiation thing. I mean, you can only stay in there for 30 seconds, and she stays in there for like a minute and a half or more. She's absolutely fine. They regenerated tissue within a few hours. So it had absolutely no effect on her whatsoever. That's just daft. You had the indestructible force field in the brig. She got sent to the brig, and somehow that force field is the strongest force field in the entire ship. It's the only thing that survived. It should like break right around it, and you had to then try and talk to the computer to basically let you out again. Nah, nah. So I really thought that the Star Trek Discovery was going to be a disaster. It was going to be like the worst thing this year, the biggest disappointment. And it wasn't. Episode 3 came along and it's back to the normal Star Trek formula. Still has this sort of narrative in the background, but it's not like the central point. But you know what? Star Trek always had some sort of a narrative in the background. That's what Star Trek was. It set trends and stuff, and I'm okay with that. But I just hope that episode 4 onwards that they try and do like 3, not like 1 and 2. Now the interesting thing is they only got the people to actually advise, you know, the Star Trek fans to advise the series after episode 5. And the only thing that the fans were actually allowed to advise on was if this has been done before on any other Star Trek. So it'll be interesting to see what the rest of it looks like. I'm not too chuffed about the series at all, the way it started, but you know, it redeemed it. So let's save this there. It would have been nice if you could have 5 slots per game. I mean, there's more enough space on you to do that, and I guess they didn't want to do that. So yeah, that's that. Let's fix the scan lines because YouTube doesn't like it. I'm going to do pixel perfect, which is a bit thinner. Let's take something that I'm going to be absolutely terrible at. Donkey Kong Country. And for everyone just joining at the moment, I'm capturing this via Ava Media Live, and if you do capture through Ava Media Live, unfortunately you're going to have a terrible time. It's basically adds about 60 seconds delay, so yeah. Well, 600 milliseconds. Give me 60 seconds delay. That would be impossible to play. That's another game I didn't actually come in contact with until much later. Okay, so here's the... That plays well, there's no lag. In this game, I can remember even emulating it back in the day. It was one of those where you thought it was actually far more impressive than it actually was, because everything here is pre-rendered. Pre-rendered on a SGI. Oh, what happened there? Oh! Yeah, that's my own fault. That kind of blended into the background. But it has quite good controls, like any rear game should. Yeah, that delay. That ain't helping me much. But still plays. Ooh. Yeah, that's if you jump. If you don't like talk to yourself and look away from the screen. That plays well. So like I said, that's not going to work. But I just want to see, does a quick reset work on this one? Nah, doesn't work on this one. Nonetheless, the recon works. We can do some. I don't know what else is here. Let's see if I can get through the first mission of Star Fox on this terrible delay, and then see what Star Fox 2 looks like. I guess everyone is probably sick of everyone showing off Star Fox 2 on it. So this is inverted control switch. No. Still inverted. Non-inverted. Okay, brake is there. Boost. Blast is there. Okay, another one. Okay, that's fine. So was it the first stage of training, or was it... Wait. Stage 1, okay. Oh, but you see this one you can actually suspend in a separate point. That's weird. Yeah. No, it's training. Let's try the rewind function. I mean, that's a perfect time to try rewind. Okay, so that's the start of it. Let's go there. Huh. That worked. Rewind works. Who would have thought? Level 1. By the way guys, this is an interactive live stream, so if you want to chat, just type it in, it'll be on the screen. Thanks. There goes my Nova Bomb. Because I was thinking I'm skipping the cutscene. So yeah, and there was a quick turn that way, quick turn this way. Yeah, there we go. Might actually be able to finish the first level of this. They really did a lot to get the graphics working on this. I know most of it's super effects, but I guess I can't shoot down my own buildings for some reason. Ooh, it sucked. It took down some of my shields. Pay for a Snes Mini in SA. Well, all in all, 1,250 bucks. Let's see. Current exchange rate is like 13, so you're looking at about 100 bucks, $100, which isn't bad. Considering they had to like import it. How's the audio, by the way? Can you hear me? The NES Mini, which was the one before the SNES Mini, I think I paid 1,000 rand, so that would be my equivalent about $80 US. I don't know what it is in pounds though. I don't know what the current exchange rate is. I'm going to see this weekend coming if there's still some stock floating around places. I've got a feeling there is as well, so it's interesting to see. Because last time with the NES Mini there wasn't a shortage here in my opinion. At least in KZN. Ow, that's my shield. Yeah, I'm gone. I mean, the NES Mini music card still had stock like a month after its release. They had a few. Not that we didn't have scalpers. There were scalpers on the normal, everyday auction sites. They were trying to sell it for like 3,000, which is about 3 times as much. But that's normal. I think everyone just tries to make money somehow these days. There's already people trying to scalp the SNES Mini, but there seems to be enough stock this time around for that not to be too big of a problem. So you have to like shoot. Those things. So tell me, Space Ace, what country are you from? So this is the thing that caught me just now. Oh, those things hurt. Ah! Yeah, stage 1. Come on, let me unlock. worse. Oh, you're from the UK. That's awesome. Yeah, pound I think is at like 18 to the rand. So 18 pounds, 18 rand is £1. So I don't know the exact conversion rate. I can't do that one quite out of my head. While playing Star Fox at least. But it shouldn't be that expensive. Yeah, I heard a friend of mine is from there as well. It was sold out. I mean, the day it was released, everyone already got theirs. I'm not gonna make the first level of this. Not with this delay. You can't get out of the way soon enough. I mean, like that. And I've got no shield left to, yeah, and 0 left. No game shock to quickly put in a code to get it. But just hang in there. Apparently the next shipment, the South African next shipment is confirmed for November 14th. So I presume the UK one will probably be about a week before that. So chances are you'll get yours soon. I don't think there's any need to like get one from a scalper this time around. They're really producing a whole lot more. And I think the only thing is that there's more scalpers around this time to grab them. So give it a few months and it's going to die out quick. I mean, the second-hand market for it will just like plummet. Especially if they release quite a few more in the second batch. So just hang in there. There will be some eventually. Super Metroid, let's do... I don't want to put you guys through like Final Fantasy. It's going to take way too long to actually get to a playable state. Zelda, yeah, let's do Zelda. But let's change the display back to 4:3, which isn't actually why I normally play it at, but it's a bit more entertaining for everyone. Okay, let's do the fading bars. There we go. This I did actually play. I played it on my GBA SP, the release of this, that came with, what was it, 4 Swords, I think it was, or whatever the other multiplayer game was, which I couldn't play because I didn't have enough people to actually play it with. But I did play Into the Past quite a bit. Not that I'm any good with it. Free new game. Thanks, Spambot. Sorry to hear, man. You know, the pre-orders, from what I can recall, I don't know about the UK, but I know the US had quite a few that was like cancelled because of that. Which really, it's terrible when that happens. Especially if you paid for it already. Yeah, 1 rupee for 10 seconds of waste. I can't remember what to do in the first little bit, but that's fine. I'm just checking out to see what the emulation looks like. And no lags or anything, so that's good. Oh yeah, that's where you have to go through the... Yeah, okay, now I remember. It's only been like 6 years since I played it. Now, somewhere if you go through here, you go up here. Completely non-suspicious. I mean, they've got like a path specifically dedicated to go to this one firm. I mean, it's totally not suspicious at all that that's the place you should go into. Thank you, Uncle. Sorry you're dying. If you have a NES Mini, you can basically reflash it if you want to play the games. I mean, they've already leaked that, and it does work. I haven't tested it on mine yet. Or just wait until it comes out. No, mine is the UK variant, and it was distributed by a local company called Raru, R-A-R-U, which is basically like a very tiny version of Amazon. Yeah, we don't actually have like a dedicated full-size online shop that can compete with like Amazon and that, so very small company. The games in the PAL region run at 50 Hz. A lot of games weren't optimized or converted properly, so things like Mario actually runs a bit slower. I don't know about the Snes, but that's at least true of the NES. But yeah, basically these consoles, they really weren't that popular when they got released in South Africa, so not a lot of kids had them. Most of the people here used to play TV games, which is a Famicom system from China. So it's far more popular here than the SNES. But yeah, it's the UK. Let's see if I can... If you... That's about as far as I can get it with the cables cooked up. But you can see that it's UK variant. So remember, these you have to use the powerful attack, or you can just like do this. Eventually you get it. I mean, there we go. So here, oh, that wasn't here. So I wasted my time and life doing this. I can't remember where she was in here. She's here somewhere. Yeah, that was like blocked off. I think the whole point was you had to get away in there. Hey, you. Yeah, must do. Sorry. Oh, I didn't see you there. You little. I mean, AI so easily on this stage is like ignore you. Like, hey, okay, you attack me, okay, fine, I'll attack you. There we go. Yeah, guys, I'm not going to stream too much longer. I'm already 52 minutes in. So I think another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to call it the evening. I mean, most people already know what the games look like. I just kind of wanted to see for myself and talk a bit about Star Trek. Bye. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm about to die anyway. Nope, no, I'm not. I need the key though. Xbox One X, I'll be honest with you, I'm keeping my thoughts away from it until it's released so that I can test it for myself and actually see the performance, because it's Microsoft. There has been cases of them telling you that it's going to be the best thing in the world and kind of never gets to that sort of stage. The problem that I've got with it is the price that it's going to sell for it. It's out of my reach. I don't even own a PS4 at the moment or Xbox One normal because it's just a bit too expensive still. No, it is going to drop down. Should have kept that. But yeah, it's not a bad system. I don't have a 4K TV to test it, but it would be nice for the 1080p. I mean, PC wise, I've already got a GT 960, so it's alright to play most games at 1080p, which is kind of the only resolution I want to play it with. And most of the games I actually do want to play, it's on PC anyway. I mean, the newest Forza, for instance, has a PC port, so why not play it on there? I'll probably get one when the prices drop. I mean, next year or the year after. Then I might get a PS4 or Xbox One and then see which one I like the most. And just go with it. Don't know why they locked the princess in with a bunch of rupees. Anyway, I'm going to call the stream end because everything works the way it's supposed to. I can't perceive anything else wrong with the system. Emulation and speed is fine. I'm happy with it. But I'll do one more quick question. Sega or Nintendo fan? It depends on what era. The older stuff, let's say, okay, 16-bit era for me, I'll have a Sega Mega Drive over a Super Nintendo because most of the games I enjoyed back then actually came from the Mega Drive. That being said, the Super Nintendo had a few games, especially enhanced games like the Super FX chipped games and that was better. That might sway me, but I would much rather actually just grab a Mega Drive for that. But let's say a bit further down the line, the Saturn era. The Saturn wasn't a good system. I wouldn't say Sega did well with that. Nintendo with the N64 didn't do much better, but it is a slightly better solution. And then the Sony PlayStation was, at the time, in my opinion, the better system. It all depends. It's a very difficult thing just to say perfectly Sega or Nintendo. But I kind of like Sega's early 16-bit stuff a bit more than Nintendo 16-bit stuff. Which upsets me because they could do a proper Sega Mega Drive Mini without any hassle at all. Without even breaking a sweat. They could do one. And it would rock. But at the moment they're like giving it out at games. All of these really terrible third-party engineers who don't know how to do a Mega Drive. The sound is terrible, it's laggy, it's not great. But yeah, I'm not a fanboy of either. I mean, both of them are good in their own respects. Yeah, and I think with that, I'm going to call it end of stream. It's about an hour long. I don't want to keep everyone up too late on a Monday. But I'll probably stream again sometime this week. Probably the same system. Unless I've got something better to stream. It's hooked up already, so I'll stream something else this week. So if you like my stuff, just subscribe. Just be on the lookout and then you'll see more. Anyway, cheerio guys.